Amazing stories are hidden amid the islands in the emerald green seas of the Malay Peninsula. I discovered a romantic paradise in an untainted natural environment. The Malay Peninsula is still a sought-after land and a new world 200 years since it was first discovered by the West. Having started in Thailand, the final destination of my journey is Singapore. It's a paradise created by those who came in search of a better life. It's a generous and abundant place that is accepting of many different cultures. And it contains as brilliant and alluring stories as its dazzling lights. We call it a small but strong country. I'm off to discover the man-made panorama of Singapore. The Malay Peninsula consists of Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore. It's been a breathless journey, having to travel over 1,000 kilometers. But on the other hand, it has provided me with the true traveling experience. Today's journey begins at Malacca, the gateway from Malaysia. The city of Malacca, located 140 kilometers from the capital Kuala Lumpur, is about half the size of Seoul in Korea. It's the oldest city in Malaysia and has a mix of diverse cultures. 6 years ago, the entire city was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The city is where the Malay Kingdom was born and also where the Strait of Malacca got its name, the sea that bisects the Malay Peninsula and Sumatra. It feels like I'm in Europe instead of a Southeast Asian city.
와, 여기 건물들이 굉장히 세월의 흔적이 느껴져요. 말레이 반도 그 어디에서 볼 수 없는 그런 풍경인데 여긴 다른 나라에 온 것 같아요.
Malacca is akin to Korea's historical city of Gyeongju. Starting with a boat from the Ming Dynasty landing here, Portugal, Holland, Great Britain, and Germany all left their own marks on this city.
Excuse me. I want to go to Portuguese ship.
First, I'm off to see the remnants of Portugal, which denotes the beginning of the colonial period.
꽃마차예요.
The flower trishaws are major Malaccan attractions. It's 40 ringgits per hour, which is about $13 US. Along with a ride around the city, the driver provides charming explanations.
First Portuguese come Malacca by this ship. This ship is 1511. In 1511, the Portuguese come Malacca by this ship, and then after he want to go back his country, his Europa, this ship got the power.
This is an exact replica of the sunken sailboat. It's said that at that time the ship was full of treasures pillaged from Malacca.
Bye-bye.
I'm on my way to a place that the driver recommended. It's a site that is supposedly as significant as the ship in relation to Portugal.
여기가 16세기 포르투갈이 지은 산티아고 요새인데요. 네덜란드하고의 전쟁 때 다 부서지고 여기 성문만 남아 있어요. 여기 보시면 성벽으로 가는 길이 있는데 지금은 뻥 뚫려 있네요.
Fort Santiago is a remnant of the past struggles for dominance over this land.
여기를 좀 보세요. 이 성벽이 잘려진 채로 이렇게 남아 있어요. 여기 보시면 그을린 자국이 그때 전쟁의 흔적이 아직 남아 있죠.
The thickness of the fort walls shows just how intense the war over Malacca was. From the Dutch Square in the heart of downtown Malacca, I'm heading for the hill south of the square. St. Paul's Church was built by the Portuguese in 1521 and was used as a fortress during the war. Then, when the Dutch overtook the land, it was used as a tomb for aristocrats. It feels a bit strange how a building can be used in different ways based on who takes charge.
이 교회는 포르투갈이 카톨릭을 전파하기 위해 지었다가 전쟁 당시에는 요새로 사용됐어요. 저기 창문들이 당시에 포구 역할을 했었어요.
The fort must have watched every rise and fall of this city. Only the frame of this fort remains. The doors, which once were impregnable shields, are now used as the logo for the Dutch East India Company. What was it that the Europeans were trying to defend, even if they had to fight in so many wars?
말라카 시내가 다 보이네요.
Malacca was a colony for 500 years, until 1957 when Malaysia found independence. The entire city is imbued with the painful history.
이곳이 동서양이 무역을 하는 그 해상 실크로드의 중심지였거든요. 그러다 보니까 서로 이제 수많은 외세들이 이곳을 노렸죠. 말레이 반도의 중심지에 있기 때문에 아마도 그런 흔적들이 곳곳에 다 남아 있어요.
After learning about the history, I'm left with a different impression of this peaceful city. I'm boarding the train again. I often take trains for long-distance travel because it lets me arrange the fragments of ideas for future films that I get while at a new place. And I can also enjoy some solid alone time.
제가 봤던 영화 중에 그 아비정전이라는 영화가 있거든요. 거기에는 장국영이 나오는데 장국영이 마지막에 죽어요. 이런 열차에서. 이 열차에서 바깥에 야자수가 이렇게 흘러가면서 기타 소리가 이렇게 나오면서 네, 이 열차가 딱 그런 열차예요. 그런데 제가 그 자리에 있으니까 느낌이 되게 묘해요. I'm from Korea. Really? Russia? Malaysia. Where are you from?
Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur. 5 day Krabi, hour long.
In Krabi, 3 days.
Krabi days. 여기 친구들 6명이 같이 해변에 놀러 갔다 오는 길인가 봐요. 부럽다. Excuse me. Where are you from? Finland. What kind of travel?
Actually, I've been in Malaysia also for a month. Now I was in Thailand 5 weeks, and I'm going back to Malaysia in a couple of weeks. It's just a quick turn in Singapore and back to Thailand. So
Back to Thailand.
yeah,
Wow.
back to Thailand.
Just a friend.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
언젠가 핀란드에 가면 다시 우리 친구가 되자고 얘기했어요. 아, 이렇게 다양한 사람들이 여행을 하고 있네요. 젊은 친구, 어린 친구, 나이 많으신 분들 여행이란 이렇게 자유롭고 좋은 것 같아요.
We are all travelers riding on a train called life. If it doesn't stop or you can't get off, all you can do is enjoy it like this very moment. I'm taking this youthful Sing Ma Thai railway to my final destination, the very tip of the Malay Peninsula, Singapore. Singapore is a small but strong country. It's the heart of Asian trade and an economically wealthy country with the second highest income per capita in the world. At the root of this wealth is the renown as the world's greatest tourism country. The number of annual tourists alone is twice the population. How could Singapore, which is slightly larger than Seoul, become a traveler's paradise?
여기가 센토사 섬으로 가는 케이블카를 타는 곳이에요.
The most popular ways to get to Sentosa are by monorail and cable car. I choose the cable car. I wanted to get an unblocked bird's eye view of Sentosa. Sentosa means peace and quiet. It is much larger and grander than what I have heard.
저기 보이는 게 센토사 섬이에요. 이 센토사 섬은 바다 위에 흙을 메꿔서 만든 인공섬이죠. 근데 그 크기가 엄청나요. 이 싱가포르 여행에서 이 섬을 오지 않고서는 여행을 다 했다고 볼 수 없어요.
Sentosa is a small island that runs 4 kilometers east to west and 1.5 kilometers from north to south. It's located south of Singapore. It was used as a British military base until the 1970s. And since then, the government developed it as a recreational resort. It's the largest vacation spot in Singapore and is full of things to enjoy, including Southeast Asia's first Universal Studios, as well as the largest sea aquarium in Asia.
이 섬은 크기가 어마어마한 테마파크 같아요. 아까 내려오면서 보니까 리조트, 수영장, 놀이기구 뭐 없는 게 없네요. 섬을 인공적으로 만든 것도 대단한데 그 위를 이렇게 꾸미는 것도 정말 대단한 일 같아요.
There's something that captivates the eye first thing when arriving at Sentosa Island.
와, 저것 좀 보세요.
This is Merlion, Singapore's mascot. From up close, the size is overwhelming. The height amounts to 37 meters tall.
지금 여기 보이시는 이게 사자의 머리에 인어의 형상을 가졌다고 해서 머라이언이라고 불려요. 지금은 싱가포르를 대표하는 형상이라고 할 수 있죠. 예전에 인도의 수마트라 왕자가 이곳에 왔을 때 사자를 발견하고는 싱가푸라라고 불렸대요. 근데 이곳이 삼면이 바다인 나라다 보니까 고기와 사자가 만났다. 그래서 이제 머라이언이라고 불리게 되었다네요.
Just 200 years ago, this island was a little fishing region out in the frontier. But today, Singapore has found its ground as an economic power. The regal pose of the merlion seems to confirm that. I thought it was a simple statue, but it isn't. The interior leads to the observation deck and is full of fun things that anyone would enjoy.
놀이공원에 온 것 같네요.
It turns out that this houses the best viewpoint in Sentosa.
여기가 머라이언의 입이에요. 센토사 섬이 한눈에 다 보이네요.
Sentosa is as beautiful and clean as the other islands I have seen throughout this trip. It's like another large kingdom within Singapore.
말레이 반도와 이어진 이 섬을 만든 것도 그렇고 저기 저 항구를 좀 보세요. 지금도 계속 성장하는 싱가포르의 모습을 보고 있는 것 같아요. 비록 장엄한 풍경은 없지만 분명히 이 도시는 생동감이 넘치는 도시예요.
To think that all this was made with the sweat and labor of people. I'm amazed at their passion.
이게 룻지라고 썰매 같은 건데 저 케이블카 같은 걸 타고 위에서부터 쭉 내려오는 거래요. 재밌겠죠?
Adventure is for all men and women, young and old. Everyone's faces are full of anticipation.
어린 아이 같은 거 같죠?
The speed downhill is faster than expected. It's the perfect experience for a speed lover like me. It's as if all my fatigue from this hectic trip has melted away entirely. After getting some rest in Sentosa, I'm now heading for downtown Singapore to explore the streets. My first stop is Chinatown. Downtown Singapore's north, south, east, and west each have their own distinct colors. The west mostly consists of zoos or parks with safaris. The international airport and train station is in the north, which runs along the coast, and various shopping centers and amusement parks are located in the south. Chinatown was formed in the early 1900s and preserves the landscape of its early Chinese immigrant shops and markets. You can feel a certain Chinese energetic vigor.
중국계 사람들과 말레이계 두 민족이 만나 바바 뇽냐라는 문화를 만들었어요. 바바는 중국계 남자, 뇽냐는 말레이시아계 여자를 뜻하는데 두 민족이 만나 독특한 문화를 형성한 거죠.
Currently, over 77% of the total Singaporean population is of Chinese descent. They formed the largest community among the various ethnic groups and are confidently continuing their own culture. As I enter the Chinatown food street, I find that, true to its renown, the food stalls are grand. All sorts of cuisine fill the alley that is about 100 meters long, from traditional Chinese food to fusion dishes that I have never seen before. The sweet aroma stops me in my tracks. This is the food that stopped me. It's a stir-fry that contains a rather unique ingredient.
새로운 음식들이 굉장히 많아요. 그러니까 문화와 문화가 합쳐져서 아마 생성된 새로운 음식 문화 뭐 이런 거겠죠?
Just looking at it is making my mouth water.
Thank you.
I choose something that is made in a similar way with Korean food, and it's much better than I expected.
쌀떡이라고 해서 쫄깃할 줄 알았는데 쫄깃하지 않고 연두부 맛이 나네요. 갖가지 해산물이 막 들어가서 그것만으로 충분히 맛있어요.
Singapore, which is a multiracial country, has a rich food culture. Because each ethnic group introduces recipes from other ethnicities, while maintaining their own traditional cuisine, distinct foods found nowhere else are produced.
Orang ramai gemar makan makanan Nyonya, terutamanya macam asam laksa yang terkenal di seluruh Malaysia, terutamanya hanya didapati di Pulau Pinang sahaja.
I discover a building that looks rather out of place from the rest of the area at the end of China Street. The statues that surround the temple are very elaborate. This is Sri Mariamman Temple, a Hindu temple built by Indian laborers in the 1800s. The puja ritual is taking place just as I arrive. Normally, the ritual is conducted twice a day at sunrise and sunset. It's a traditional Hindu ritual that is performed in supplication for peace and good fortune. I never thought I'd see this ritual in Singapore, something I had witnessed at the Ganges River. But how is it that this large Hindu temple came to be at the edge of Chinatown?
So that's why there is everything in there. Lot of meaning. Yeah, long time before, Indians and Chinese, they lived together when they migrated here. So we established them when the people will live in a community. So we need a place to worship. So we built the temple here. Then after when the majority of the Chinese and Indian come, so we want the separate area. So the Indians moved to the Little India, and the Chinese, they remain here. That is the story.
A Hindu temple in Chinatown. This is a good example of their acceptance of other cultures. Surrounding the main street of Singapore are the large and small side streets of Chinatown, Little India, and Arab Street. Next, I'm heading to Arab Street. Just a little over 10 minutes from Chinatown. How could it be so different? The moment I step into Haji Lane, the sight of people in hijabs and the colorful items make me wonder whether I'm not in an Arabic country. Haji Lane centers around Sultan Mosque, and each alley is different. The decorative murals capture a foreigner's eyes. The vivid colors and people in traditional garb symbolize peace and goodwill for their ethnic group. There are many unique and charming items and accessories. I can see why there are so many female tourists here. This alley that leads from Haji Lane has yet another kind of ambiance.
여기 한 블럭만 넘어가도 빽빽한 빌딩 숲이 있거든요. 그런데 이 좁고 작은 거리에 2층짜리 건물들이 쫙 있는데 이 거리만큼은 굉장히 여유로워요. 색깔도 다채롭고 사람들도 걸음이 느리고 이렇게 걷고 있는 것만으로도 기분이 되게 즐거워지는 그런 거리예요.
The street is quiet. Windows are propped halfway open. It's a relaxing space that gives the impression that someone will appear at any moment and greet me warmly.
이 TV가 진짜 오래된 TV 같은데요. 50년 된 것 같네요. 자유로우면서도 뭔가 정갈한 그런 느낌이에요. 카페가.
I find familiarity within a foreign space. My tension releases a bit. Aren't I entitled to this little bit of luxury on my trip?
이국에 아이스 아메리카노 한 잔을 들고 이렇게 앉아있는 그걸 늘 항상 누구나의 마음속에 로망처럼 꿈꾸잖아요. 그 로망 속에 있으니까 딱 30초만 이곳에 이렇게 머물고 싶다 이런 마음이 그러네요.
It's a sweet afternoon with no need for conversation, and I'm not lonely despite being alone. No two buildings are alike in Singapore. This is because it is prohibited by law. Singapore's development motto was to create unique buildings and environments found nowhere else in the world with the combination of art and science.
저 앞에 보이는 저게 싱가포르의 새로운 랜드마크로 떠오르고 있는 슈퍼트리예요.
A free viewing train is available in the large-scale park. It's shaped like a long-stemmed mushroom or an umbrella. What could those tall structures be? Gardens by the Bay, which houses the super trees at its center, is Singapore's largest park that opened 2 years ago. The park is about 2/3 the size of Dokdo Island in Korea and was built on reclaimed land. The 21st century Leaning Tower of Pisa, it is praised as an architectural miracle.
이 거대한 슈퍼트리 사이들을 이렇게 지나다 보니까 여기가 영화 아바타의 한 장면인 것 같아요. 그 환상의 숲 있잖아요. 그 신비스러움. 야, 여기는 그 영화 속을 재현해놓은 것 같은 그런 느낌이에요.
There are a total of 18 super trees, which stand equivalent to a 16-story building. The long pedestrian paths between the super trees give you the feeling that you're walking on clouds.
여기 무슨 아마존 열대 우림 속에 있는 구름다리 같은 그런 기분이에요.
To the left of the super trees are 2 round domes. That's where the solar power and rainwater collected from the super trees are gathered. This grand botanical garden contains hundreds of rare plants that dwell in elevations of 1,000 to 3,000 meters above sea level.
여기 있는 이 식물은 스스로 물을 비축하기 위해서 몸을 이렇게 크게 만들어서 이 안에 물을 저장한대요. 진짜 아바타네요. 새로운 세상이에요. 이 식물원도 너무 대단하다. 와.
Usually greenhouses are humid and hot, but it's actually cool in here. They placed shades on the ceiling to filter the sunlight and cold water pipes in the floors to reduce the temperature. How far can human abilities reach? I'm simply in awe of their wisdom. At night, there's another reason why it's so hard to leave this city. It's said that anyone who sees it gets enchanted, which makes this moment all the more longed for.
곧 있으면 이곳에서 쇼가 시작될 거예요.
Bright lights illuminate the sky. Singapore turns into a fantasy world. Like the way little lights combine to illuminate the darkness, Singapore was built by the many different ethnicities that came together with a single purpose.
저희 밤하늘을 스노우 조명들이 굉장히 은은하고 잔잔하게 빛나요. 여기 싱가포르에 지는 저녁 노을이랑 같이 아우러져서 굉장히 아름답게 뭔가 굉장히 스펙타클하진 않지만 뭔가 은은하게 비춰지는 그런 느낌이 아름답습니다.
Those lights are just like the Singapore that I encountered today. The past 20 days in the Malay Peninsula have passed by like a dream. Amid the beautiful blue natural environment, people selflessly make their livings from what they gather from the sea. They remain more vivid than photos in my mind even today. I was grateful to be able to share. I remember the warm welcoming that I received at the Talinoy Lakeside Village. I was happy to be with them. From the Maka Puja festival, instilled with earnest prayer, to the rituals of minority tribes trying to preserve their roots, I was bestowed with valuable experiences. I experienced precious moments. It was like discovering heaven. The Malay Peninsula incited in me the big dream of making the world's only film on world travel. The unique memories that I have captured in my eyes and heart will not be forgotten for many years to come.